The World Economic Forum just released their new Future of Jobs report detailing what they expect to happen in 2023 and beyond. We have the full report here. It's very large. You can download the whole thing. It's 296 pages. We're obviously not going to go through the whole thing. Most of this is for their acolytes. They like to write reports and read reports and talk about reports and then shove their reports down the gullets of our leaders, hoping that we will comply with their plans. But I wanted to go through it so we can see what they are trying to instill across the world. This is a clip that they posted on Twitter from one of the authors of the report, giving us some highlights on what they expect.
Affected by many trends. That combination of trends together is going to disrupt about a quarter of jobs that currently exist. So 23% of jobs will be disrupted in some form or the other. But the key word there is disruption, and just a little over a half will be declining, and just a little under half will be actually growing. And so overall, the picture is, yes, complex, yes, affected by many trends, but also something that seems manageable, provided that we focus on the reskilling and upskilling of workers.
Okay, so things are going to be changing, and they want to be at the forefront of that, controlling how this adjustment occurs. A quarter of the jobs are going to go away, but a quarter of new jobs will come back in other sectors. And they're talking about AI a lot and how AI is going to be a part of this reshaping. And I came across this clip also from the World Economic Forum, where he's saying that AI is not going to necessarily take your job, but somebody else using AI is going to take your job.
AI is essentially wisdom in a can. And so it's giving more power to all workers, but especially those average workers. So if you take an AI, for instance, and give it medical AI, give it to a nurse, he or she is much more capable than they were before, the doctor too, a little bit. So I think this AI will be uplifting to the middle class because it's in essence the most expensive, most talented workers are people who have 20 years experience and know how to apply that. That's what AI does overnight. So I think it will be uplifting for the middle class. But it will be extremely disruptive in the sense that every job will change. There'll be automation of certain things and everybody will learn how to deal with it. Or what I say on Twitter all the time is AI won't take your job. It's somebody using AI that'll take your job.
So big changes are coming, and the World Economic Forum put together a report providing some insights. Let's take a look at what they've gathered for us. They have some contents. They talk about drivers of the labor market transformation, jobs outlook, skills outlook, reskilling and upskilling priorities in the next 5 years, talent availability, workforce strategies, and the ability to train and maintain workers. Now, you see, we just heard from this woman, Sadia Zahidi, managing director over from the World Economic Forum. She says that there are major transformations that are being driven by technological breakthroughs, AI being one of them. Some key findings: we are going to be experiencing divergent outcomes in labor markets, saying that workers who are facing only basic education and women are facing lower employment levels, real wages are declining, creating a bigger divergence. Technology adoption will remain a key driver of business transformation. And I've already seen headlines about this, that there are certain stocks and certain companies that are just going into the can because of displacement from ChatGPT. The largest job creation and destruction effects come from environmental, technological, and economic trends. There we go. They're saying the broader application of ESG standards and supply chains will offset partial job displacement. So they want to stop the problem by applying ESG and the green transition. While all this catastrophe is going on, they're going to stop the collapse by implementing green transitions and ESG. Climate change adaptation and the demographic dividend in developing will be net job creators. More than 75% of companies are looking to adopt these technologies in the next 5 years because they control many of these companies. Remember when we talked about the World Economic Forum? We learned that it is a giant club of mega corporations. They come up with policy together. They agree upon the policy to serve the big corporations. They all implement it in uniform fashion, and it supports all of them. 86% of the companies are expecting to incorporate these developments, digital platforms and apps, into their operations in the next 5 years. The fastest growing roles are going to be AI and machine learning. And they're going to be wanting, they call them sustainability specialists, renewable energy engineers, solar energy installation and systems engineers. It's almost like they're creating industries. They say the fastest declining roles are clerical or secretarial roles, bank tellers, related clerks, postal service clerks, cashiers, ticket clerks, data entry clerks, going to be declining the fastest. Employers expect 23% of jobs to churn over the next 5 years. So a quarter of your employees or your teammates may change. The human-machine frontier has shifted. Businesses are introducing automation, but they're doing it slower than expected. Organizations today estimate that 34% of all business-related tasks are performed by machines. Actually, a negligible increase over 2020, which is interesting. I think that'll shift rapidly. Once you can see some real cost savings from the automation, I think businesses will move that way rapidly, especially if we are on the verge of a recession, as they've said, about 67% likely, I think, are the latest numbers there. Today, respondents have revised down their expectations about future automation. This I agree with. I think analytical thinking and creative thinking are the most important skills for workers in 2023. I think that's absolutely true. Creative thinking, cognitive skills ranks second. Analytical thinking is considered a core skill by more companies than anything else. Creative thinking is next, ranks second. Resilience, flexibility, agility, motivation, self-awareness. The word that I often like to use when I was running my business is the word agency. I like people who have high agency, problem solving. Sort of wraps up analytical thinking, cognitive skills. Agency meaning you can get something done. You don't need me to get it done for you. I say, I need this done. You can go get it done. You have high agency. Employers estimate that 44% of workers will be disrupted in the next 5 years. Companies are expressing confidence in their workforce, but they're less optimistic in what's coming in over the next 5 years. 6 in 10 workers will require retraining before 2027. Ugh. Training from the World Economic Forum. I don't like how that sounds. A majority of companies will prioritize women, 79%, youth, 68%, those with disabilities, 51%, as part of their DEI programs. A minority will also prioritize those from disadvantaged backgrounds, 39%, workers over the age 55, LGBTQ plus I, 35%, and low income, 33%. They want funding for skills from the government. So, yeah, very big report. Those were just some of the highlights. And as the world changes, as the market changes, as AI comes out, new technology emerges, this is an inside look at to what I would say the biggest club of mega corporations on the whole planet thinks is happening. And regardless of what you think about the World Economic Forum, a lot of people are going to be looking at these numbers, making hiring and firing decisions as a result of it. And I think it's important to understand where the tides are moving so that they can be navigated appropriately. As the world unfolds.